Hello guys and welcome to my channel. Hopefully again, my name is Lone Vic and this is Hamlet, the village building game, the Founders Deluxe Edition from Kickstarter, but it's also, or it will be also available in retail. It's a game from Mighty Boards for 1 to 4 players and it's a game about, well, building a village. All the players will be building the village collectively, but only the player who contributes the most and gains most victory points will be dubbed the winner. In this video, we will be talking about how to play a multiplayer game. I will be creating a setup for a 2-player game and going through all the rules. There will be a separate video for the solo rules and the solo playthrough of this game once I get a hang of it. If you like what I'm doing on this channel, if you like to support what I'm doing here, click the like button, subscribe, ring the notification bell. You can leave a trace in the comments as well. If you've already gotten this game, if you played it, what are your opinions about it? And right now, without any further delay, let's take a look at how to set this game up for 2 players. Okay, so as you can see, I've got some elements here already on the table. So we've got the church tile and the quarry tile, the woodcutter tile, the town hall, the market and the farm. Those are the starting tiles that you need to place on the table, and they are marked, as you can see, with this table icon, all of them on the reverse, so you can identify them easily from all the other ones in the box. And this is the setup that the rulebook suggests, but the rulebook also tells us that you can set those tiles up anyhow you want, but each of those smaller tiles has to be connected via a road. So I just use the setup from the rulebook. Here we have the scoreboard, and we'll get back to this one in a moment. First, let's give each player their components. So each player should be handed the following: 4 worker meeples of the player's color, and I'll be just placing those here without dividing them into colors so that you just know the amounts. 6 donkey meeples, 5 roads, which look like bridges to be honest, 6 flags, 6 circular player markers, and also 8 refined resource markers. And there are 2 of each type, so there are 4 types of refined resources, and each player gets 2 markers for each of those resources. So those are all the player components that you need. Take 1 player marker from each player and place it near the scoreboard next to the space with 1 victory point. Make sure that the church and the market tiles show the setup for your player count. So in my case, it's 1 or 2 players here, and on the reverse, you have 3 and 4 players. In a 2-player game, or in a 1 and 2-player game, you need 2 parts of the church already placed on the church board as built. So I will place these 2, and this is the 3D church that came with the Kickstarter edition. There are flat cardboard tiles for the normal edition. If you are playing a 3 or 4-player game, you only place 1 piece of the church in the beginning. Now, each player also places 1 villager and 1 donkey of theirs on the tile with the church. Here we go. Take the general resources and place them somewhere nearby, and also place 2 wheat on the farm, 2 wood on the woodcutter spaces, and 2 rock in the quarry. The rest will be used during the game. The game also comes with this big canvas bag for the tiles, and now there are 2 options depending on what components you have. In a usual situation, you should initially take the village tiles, which are marked with this sack symbol, so those are the starting ones, and throw them into the bag and mix them up a bit. If you have them, you can also use these tokens for drawing from the bag, and then after you draw, each token refers to a specific tile from the set that I've just shown you. So I will be using those small tokens inside the baggie, and I will set the tiles somewhere aside off screen. The rest of the building tiles should be divided into 4 stacks, and as you can see, there are, or maybe hopefully you can see, there are 4 tiles in each of these stacks, and we've got those symbols for different types of resources here. So we've got water here, or milk maybe, I don't know, it's water probably. We've got some steel, we've got some wood, and we've got some processed or refined wheat symbol over here. So those are those 4 stacks. And again, if you have those smaller tiles for drawing them from the bag instead of the large ones, just find 4 smaller tiles with the matching icons and place them near those village tiles respectively, as I did right now. Draw 4 building tiles from the bag, so I will draw 4 tokens and place them one by one above the scoreboard. So I've got a pond, I have the small woodland, there is also the small mountain range, and the last one is the stonemason. The used up tokens that you drew from the bag can go back to the box because they won't be seen again. Also, coins are provided, and each player should get 3 coins to start the game with, and in a 4-player game, the 3rd and 4th player will receive 1 additional gold, and in a 2 or 3-player game, the last player will receive 1 additional gold. So in this case, the first player has 3 and the second player is the last player, so he will receive 1 additional gold. Okay, we also have the awards and milestone tokens that we have to place on the table so that everybody can see those. So I will locate them here around the scoreboard. And the last thing are the market tiles, which you should divide based on the number on the reverse. There are 1, 2, and 3 tier market tokens. So I have them here, 1, 2, and 3 stacks. And if this is a 2-player game, remove 2 tokens from the second stack and 3 tokens from the third stack. For a 3-player game, remove 1 from the second stack and 2 from the third stack. And for a 4-player game, remove 1 from the second and third stack respectively. So if it's a 2-player game, I will remove the top 2 from here and I will remove 3 from here, and then stack them so that the 1s are above the 2s and above the 3s, place them near the market and uncover the first 3 tokens in the spaces provided here on the board. And now you are ready to play a game of Hamlet. Okay, so let's talk first about the main concepts of this game. The first concept that needs to be mentioned is ownership. Now, if anything is in your private supply, be it donkeys or be it workers or resources or those blueprint tiles that you'll be building in the village, then they are yours, money as well. If, however, a tile or a resource is placed in the village, it can be used by everybody. This also includes built roads. So once anything is on the board, it can be used by anybody apart from the workers and the donkeys. So that's one thing that you have to be aware of. This is kind of a semi-co-op game. The roads are very important elements as well, because the graphics on the tiles show you which tiles are connected via the road to each other or to the church, and through the church also to each other. So this quarry is connected with a road to the church, and then through the church also to the town hall and to the woodcutter and to the market and to the farm, basically everywhere. And if you build a road to connect a tile that doesn't have a connection to a different tile, then this road is already connecting those 2 tiles, and everyone can use this road, not only its owner. The next concept are the materials that you have in your player colors. So the raw materials that you can see on the board right now are the basic materials that can be used by everybody, and they don't give any bonuses. Now, these refined materials are double-sided. There is a black side and there is a white side of those materials. Now, if at any point in the game you will be producing refined materials, you will be producing the black ones, and if you have this one of those milestone tokens, like for example the first mason, first carpenter, first miller, or first herder, then you will be able, and only you, to produce the white higher quality goods of this type, and this is mentioned on those milestones. And those goods can later be used by anybody, any other player, or you, and when they are used, you will get the reward that will be printed on the tile. And if the resource is black, because it's not high quality, because you don't have the milestone, you will get this reward from the tile once. And if you have the tile and you have produced the white, higher quality version of the resource, you will get the reward for this resource twice. And also you need to remember that the refined resources are limited, so you can only ever have 2 of each type per player on the board and only add a new one when the previous one is used. Okay, now the villagers and the donkeys are the next concepts that we need to talk about. Now, the villagers can move anywhere around the board during their turn as long as the space that they want to get into is connected via a road to the space where they are moving from. And they have no limitations, so this red meeple can move from here via this road to the town hall or to the farm or to the market, whatever, if it was, for example, here. The donkeys, on the other hand, can move only one space per turn, and they also need to be connected via a road, those spaces. Now, when you move your meeple, your worker, you usually do it for one of 3 reasons. You either want to activate the tile that you are on, that you move to, or you want to build a new blueprint tile next to the tile that the worker is on at the moment after the movement, or you want to build a road connecting 2 tiles. And in order to do anything of those things, you need to transport the required resources to that worker. So let's say that I move my worker here for a moment, just for a show and tell, and I would like to build something new over here. I would need to transport resources, and the resource transport is the main concept of the game. So let's talk about this right now. We've got 6 resources right now on the board, and hypothetically, let's say that I need 1 resource of each type to build something next to this tile where my worker moved in my turn. So what I need to do is that I need to transport 1 of each of those resources to this tile. Now, how do I do that? The rules say that you can move each resource present on the board 1 space to an adjacent tile connected with a road for free. So I could move this 1 wheat and this 1 stone and this 1 wood over here to the church tile, but I wouldn't be able to deliver them to my worker unless I have a donkey present on this tile, in this case the church tile, on the next tile, because the donkeys allow me to make an additional movement in the transport chain. So now the donkey carries those free resources to my worker who uses them up. I'll return those here. So basically, the rule of thumb is that you can make 1 free movement, and then you have to transport via a chain of your donkeys, and you have 6 donkeys in your supply that you'll be able to place around the board and move around to create this kind of chain for transporting resources. And you have to do it in 1 single move. So you can't just say that, oh, in this turn I will move this resource here and I will wait for my donkeys to come by in the next turn and move those resources further along. The chain must be complete in order to transport those resources and fulfill the action within a single movement. And the last concept, basically, before we start getting into the nitty-gritty, are those tiles over here. Now, the red ones are scored at the end of the game, and we have 4 of those. Most buildings with flags gets the landscaper, final reward with 4 victory points, most church deliveries, 5 victory points for the person who made the most church deliveries. The most sales at the market gets 4 victory points, and the second most church deliveries gets 3 victory points. Those are scored at the end of the game. The green ones are milestones which are taken by a player who achieved each of those conditions first. So the first person to build a refinery gets the mason milestone. The first person to build the refinery for crops gets the miller milestone. The first one for wood gets the carpenter. The first one for milk gets the herder. And the first person to build a road, so one of those road tokens, gets the planner milestone. And then the abilities on those milestones activate. So usually this means that you can produce higher quality resources. The planner gets 1 additional point at the end of the game per bridge or path, per road basically, that they have built. Okay, enough of the key concepts. Let's take a look at how to play the game. The game of Hamlet consists of an undetermined number of turns. The game ends once the church is built in its entirety, and the entire church has 6 elements, 2 of which are present on the board right now. And until the church is built, the players go round and round performing their actions, and then the next player, and then the next player. So what can you do on your turn as a player? So during your turn, you may perform in any order 2 of the following actions. You can move your donkeys. So once per turn, you can move each donkey once. And we do it so that after you move the donkey, you lay him flat so that we know that the donkey has been moved. Because when you have a lot of them on the board, then it's very easy to lose count. And the second action that you can do is you can perform the villager action by moving the villager onto a tile where you want to perform an action. You have 3 to choose from. You can activate the tile the villager is on. You can build a new tile from a blueprint that you own next to the tile the villager is on, or you can build a road connecting 2 tiles next to the one the villager is on. So let's take a look and let's closely analyze each of the actions, starting with the activation action of the villager. So we've got a few different types of tiles over here right now, and let's talk about how we activate those. So if I move using my action my villager to the woodcutter, to the quarry, or to the farm, I can activate any of those spaces. So let's say that I move him to the woodcutter, and if I activate this space, I can fill up any remaining empty spaces on the woodcutter with wood, obviously, and then get the reward on the green space, which is 2 coins. There we go. That's what I just did. And if I don't want to move my donkeys, for example, that would be the end of my movement. And now the yellow player could move, and they could also go here or here and activate any of those tiles and fill up the quarry or the farm and collect 2 coins. They wouldn't be able to go to the woodcutter because there are no empty spaces to fill in, so they wouldn't be able to activate this. But let's say that the yellow player wants to go to the town hall right now, and let's talk about the town hall activations. Now, there are 2 actions here. One action is this one, where you can spend coins in order to purchase new workers and donkeys. Each donkey costs you 3 coins, and when you purchase a new donkey, you place it on any tile that is connected via a road to the church, and each worker costs you 5, 7, or 9, depending on which worker it is in the line of purchasing. So this is your first worker, so the second worker that you would buy would cost you 5, the third one would cost you 7, and the fourth one, the last one that you can buy, would cost you 9. And those workers always land on the church tile, and they land flat down because they have been used. And that's also a good tip. When you move a worker and you activate or do anything with it, use it for an action, just lay it flat so that you also remember that you've activated it. Because like donkeys, you will have a lot of workers on the board and you have to remember that each donkey can be moved only once and each worker can be moved and activate a tile or build a road or build a new tile only once per turn. Okay, now the second thing that you can do on the town hall, and it's not either or, you can do both of those things, is that you can collect a blueprint from above the scoreboard. And how do we do that? The first blueprint is free. So you can just take it. If you want to build a pond, you can just take it if you are in the town hall. The second blueprint, however, costs you 1 coin, and this 1 coin has to be placed on the previous blueprint. And now you can take the second blueprint tile. If you want the third one, it costs you 2 coins, which means that 1 coin has to be placed on the first tile and 1 on the second one. And the last one, you guessed it, it costs 3 coins, and that means that you have to distribute 3 coins over here. Now, if you collect a blueprint with coins, those coins are for you, obviously. And after you collect a blueprint, move all of the tiles to the left, so to fill up all the empty spaces, and draw a new tile from the bag and place it here. So let's say that the yellow player right now will collect the pond for free, add it to their supply. We will move all of these and I will draw a new token, which is again a pond, because there are 2 ponds in this game. So I will place the pond over here. So those are the 2 actions. Now the round is going back to the red player, and the red player is interested right now in moving his meeple to the market, which is connected via roads. So the meeple can move here. And over here in the market, you can also do 2 things. The first one is you can make a sale at the market to any of those tiles. And this is what the red player would like to do at this moment. So let's take a look. I can sell 2 stone and 1 wheat, or 2 wood and 1 wheat, or 1 steel, and steel is nowhere to be found. So let's say that I want to sell 2 wood and 1 wheat. Can I deliver the 2 wood and 1 wheat to the market? That's the first question. I can move this 1 wheat for free 1 space, and then the donkey transports it for 1 space to the market. And I can take 2 wood, move it for free 1 space to the church tile, and then my donkey delivers it here. Great! So I'm delivering these resources. The player collects the tile that they just delivered, and we have the green rewards here, which is 1 victory point for the red player and also 1 coin. And we add a new tile from the stack until the stack is depleted, then you can't add any more. And the second thing that you can do on the market is you can purchase resources for 3 or 5 coins, but you don't need to have your worker here to do that. Your worker can be anywhere else, but you can purchase those resources only when you can automatically deliver them via your donkeys or the neighboring tile to your workers so that they can be automatically used. It enables you to fulfill some goals when you have no resources available on the map. And last but not least, we have the church tile, and the church tile, when any player goes here and activates it, allows you to make a church delivery. We've got 4 spaces here for the church deliveries, and if you can deliver 10 coins or 3 milk or steel in any combination, so it can be 2 milk or 1 steel, or 1 milk and 2 steel, or 3 milk, and the same for wood and crops, or here you have 10 of any of the basic resource, then you collect the victory points assigned to this delivery, you place your player marker on the space so that we know that this is the player who made the delivery. This will be later important for the end game scoring tiles. And after you make a delivery, you place a new element of the church, and thus bringing the game closer to an end. But right now we don't have any resources to place, so I will just move this off of the board. And each of those deliveries can be made only once, so the faster the player is with those deliveries, the better. So those are the activations of the basic tiles. And one more thing that we can add is that here we've got the stonemason, which is a refinery tile, that this one, after being built, and we'll be talking about this in a moment, if activated, means that you can deliver one stone here and spend it with a worker to place one of your refined resources on this spot. And this would be the brick resource. It's not steel, it's brick, sorry. And you don't get any rewards for this at this time. So for example, if the red player delivered a brick over here, it just stays here. But when any player uses this brick and delivers it to use it to build something or to, I don't know, make a church delivery or sell it at the market, the owner of this brick gets the rewards that are printed here. And if the red player had the milestone for being the mason, the first player who built a refinery, and this would be a white resource in this case, then this reward would be granted twice once this resource is used by any player, remember. Okay. So now we know how to do those basic actions, and we also know something about the actions with refined resources. So the activation of tiles is pretty much sorted. And now let's say that the yellow player's turn is, and he would like to build something finally. So in this case, when the player wants to build, they obviously need to move to the tile which they want to build next to, and we'll say that the yellow player wants to build next to the town hall and they want to build their pond. So in order to build a pond, you would need to deliver those red resources to the worker who is building the pond, and then you would get the green rewards. So we have only one wood, but we still can build this pond. And let's say that instead of activating any tile, the yellow player right now wants to spend this worker action to build the pond that they've collected in the previous turn. Now, you can build this tile basically anywhere around this town hall tile the player is on, but as you can see, this tile doesn't have any roads. So if you want to connect this tile later in order to get those victory points that are printed here, because you will get free victory points if this tile is connected by a road to anywhere else, you will need to build a road, obviously. And how roads are able to be built, we'll see in a moment. Let's say for now that the yellow player wants to place this pond here. So he needs to deliver 2 wood to this worker. So 1 wood will be moved 1 space, and 1 space using the donkey here, so it's delivered, and then the player will spend 3 coins in order to move 1 wood from the market for free and 1 via the donkey here as well, and that's 2 wood, the pond can be built. 2 victory points for the yellow player, and also because this is a tile with a flag icon in the name, the yellow player puts their flag token on this tile to remember that he is the scoring person for this condition. Anybody can go to this tile, anybody can connect a road to this tile, but only the yellow player will be able to score this condition at the end of the game. This is what the flag is for. So now we've got the last type of action to basically talk about. But before we do that, let's allow the red player to make a move right now, because the red player has a lot of coinage and he would like to use this coinage for something. So the red player will move his piece over here and he will activate this and fill it up with wood for 2 coins. So that's 1, 2, and 3 wood, and he gets the 2 coins. And now we're back to the yellow player, and the yellow player has his meeple over here. He's got only 1 coin, but now he's aching to connect this pond via a road to the town hall. Now, roads can be built between mountain and mountain edges for 2 wood, or between forest and forest edges for 2 stone. So if the edges of the tile are like here, so here we've got rock and here we've got wood, that means that there is a cliff and you can't build a road here. But here we've got 2 forests. So we can build a road here for 2 stone. And luckily there is plenty of stone in the quarry. So we'll place a road here because the meeple has to be present on any tile from which the road is originating. So it's a legitimate move. And let's see if we can transport the 2 stone to the worker. 1 movement for free and 1 movement via the donkey. That's it. The road has been built. And the yellow player is getting the planner because he has built the first road. So he will be getting more points for the roads at the end of the game. All right, now let's move on to the red player for a moment because I want to quickly rewind to one more action that can be made, and then we will talk about the scoring. So the red player will perform a move. See, the donkeys are not moving right now because the donkeys are good here until we expand the village. The donkeys are pretty good in the middle to be the connection between all of those farms and quarries and everything. So the red player will move to the town hall right now, and they will purchase the stonemason for 2 coins, which means that we will move the pond and we will also draw a new tile, and this new tile is a shrine. Here we go. And that's it. So he will only purchase the stonemason. Now the yellow player will get up and he will go to the quarry to earn 2 coins for filling the quarry up with stone. So that's 3 stone for the quarry, and that's how it goes. And now the red player decides that they would like to move to the market and connect this stonemason over here via a road so that they don't need to build a road of their own. And right now he is here building, and this requires 2 wheat and 1 wood. The wood can be delivered easily via the donkey, and 1 wheat will be delivered also from the farm, and 1 wheat will be purchased for 3 coins from the market. And now the red player has built the stonemason, and we have the rewards here. 4 victory points, so he goes to 5, and he also has this symbol here that this is the upgrade of masonry, and this is the first one in the game, so the red player gets the first refinery mason milestone. So right now he will be able to produce higher quality masonry resources here. And this also means that when the first refinery is built right now, we take the 4 tokens or 4 tiles from the respective category and add them to the bag. So now these tiles will be able to be drawn here and then built in the village. Okay, and those are basically all the rules, guys. Those are all the things that you need to remember about when you are playing this game. All the effects of all the tiles are explained very well in the rulebook as well, and you will be able to refer to those when you need them. Now, once all the deliveries are made and the church has been built, finally, we are in the scoring part of the game. You need to end the round so that each player had the same number of movements, obviously. And then when you score the end of the game, apart from the points that you've collected throughout the game, you score the awards. And if any players are tied for an award, the points are shared, so divided into 2 and rounded down. And if there is a tie for the most church deliveries made, the tied players claim both the chaplain and sacristan tokens, and they sum them up, divide them into 2 and round down. So it's 5 and 3 points, so basically they will get 4 points each. Then we score the landmarks. So each flag next to a victory condition scores this victory condition for the respective player. Each player also scores 1 point for any road that they've built during the game, and if, like yellow, you are the planner, you will score 1 additional point. Each player will also score a longest road in the village. So the longest road means a longest continuous road that is built, not including the church tile. You can't include the church tile here, but you can include your roads only. So for example, this road would span 1, 2 tiles, and this one would span 1, 2 tiles as well. There is a very good picture of this in the rulebook to explain, and also every 3 coins are worth 1 victory point as well. So add all the points together, and whoever has the most points is the winner. There we go. So guys, this is how you play Hamlet, the village building game from Mighty Boards in a multiplayer version. I will be posting a solo playthrough somewhere soon. I don't know exactly when. I'm still going through the rules and practicing the game. I will also be posting my thoughts about this game very soon, so check out the channel to see the review, because we're doing some multiplayer playthroughs as well with my group, and we're getting the hang of this game as well. For now, thanks very much for watching. If you have any questions about the rules or any comments, or if you feel that I've made a mistake somewhere, there is the comment section below the video for that. And if you want to support what I'm doing here on the channel, you can always click the like button, hit the subscribe, ring the notification bell to be notified about the new videos, and make some traffic going through the channel. This is always helpful. And for now, thank you very much for watching. This was Hamlet, the village building game. I was Lone Vic, or I am Lone Vic. See you soon in another of my videos on this channel. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye bye.